Everybody's always asking what kind of loans we do here at Columbia Green Federal Credit Union.
Let's tell them.
Holiday,
Consolidations,
quads,
snowmobiles,
boats,
back to school,
lawnmowers,
campers,
motorcycles,
first-time auto buyers,
weddings,
trucks,
heating oil,
RVs,
furniture,
vet bills,
dirt bikes,
vacations,
appliances,
home improvements,
pools,
jet skis,
home equity.
anything at all.
You want it? We got it.
Welcome back to the Press Box, presented by Columbia Green Federal Credit Union. This week we have Hudson boxing trainer, former Golden Gloves champ, youth mentor, Todd Smith. Thanks for coming by, Todd.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And most importantly, a good friend of not only us, but the program in general. But Todd, first thing we want to touch on is what's going on. You had a big meeting with the mayor. A lot of things went down. Why don't you explain exactly what happened and what's going on from here forward?
It started off as a meeting, like last June, July.
Sure.
He reached out to me. Well, I reached out to him first. And
this is Rick Rector.
Rick Rector, yes. Knowing that he was going to be the mayor, so I just reached out to him and see what his platform is and what his idea was for youth and moving forward the city of Hudson. So, and when I reached out to him, he responded and said that, he'd heard so much about me and he would love to meet with me. So him and I started having like weekly breakfasts and brunches to get to know each other and filling out process. And one thing was big with him was youth.
And that's big with you.
And so, automatically we just, we clicked right away because that's my passion too. So then, I started to, I talked to him about the boxing program and, he was like blown away, and he was like, why is it, it wasn't publicized. I said, trust me, it's been over the last 13 years. Registrar has done a lot of, in the beginning, in the inception, Registrar covered us like every week. Got to a point where the guys were just tired of seeing himself in the paper every day.
Okay.
So he said he wanted to come out and, look at the program. So he came out to the gym, and I was amazed. Like most people come out, they stay out for like 10, 15 minutes, photo ops and stuff like that. Right. But he stayed out there for a little over an hour, talking to all the guys.
And this is out at the Hudson Moose Lodge.
At the Moose Lodge. And he was just blown away, and it was just, and I watched them from a distance, just watch him interact with all the youth that were out there. At the time, we had probably like 25, 30 kids out there. And just watching them, go up to them, talk to them about their passion, their life, and their goals, and, things like that. And I was like, wow, this guy's really interested, So, and when he left, he told everybody, he just told all the guys, hey, this ain't the last time you guys are going to see me. Mm-hmm. And, he's been back since,
Sure.
And, as we kept meeting more and more, the program is about bringing a program back to the youth center, and I was like, I wanted to be instructional, and it was like
Sure.
whatever I wanted to do. He said he's backing me 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So then we started meeting like periodically. Then I started meeting with Nick Zackos. Him and I and Nick started meeting together, and then we started putting a plan in the place of what do we want to do, what days we want to do it,
Sure.
who we want to reach, because I Boys and Girls Club is my heart, it's my passion, it's my home, So just to get back in the building, it was like amazing, when I first started going back, and I go down like once or twice a week now just to hang out,
Sure.
But it's a good feeling, to know that something like this that can reach impact so many people, it's finally there, Nick was telling me, he was grateful for the program because they have nothing really like that to meet that age group. We're working with 8 to 12-year-olds in the beginning. It's going to definitely expand,
Sure.
but just for now, that's what we're going to do. Work with 8 to 12-year-olds.
And that's great. Now, Mayor Rector was true to his word, too. I mean, he discussed all of this before he actually took office. He was elected, he took over, and then what happened? Explain how this all came about once he made it official. I know you had a press conference about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and tell me how that all came about and what was
just watching it unravel. It was amazing, because he was there from the start. It wasn't
Right.
what most people was just this words,
Right.
And I told them, I don't listen to what people say. I watch what they do.
Exactly.
And watch him. It was just like every day he'll send me a text or email or a Facebook DM. Communication was
Sure.
constant, And then, one day he told me, I walked into City Hall and him and Branda, his mayor's aide, you know, they tell me they secured $10,000
Sure.
to buy equipment. You know, it was amazing. You know, like
Yeah,
wow.
that was music to your ears because you have a lot of cash to work with.
Because, you know, over the last 13 years, I spent my own money on everything. And,
Exactly.
And I've spent close to 60, 70 grand of my own money
Sure.
over these years. You
So
know, whether it be,
dedicated you are.
just traveling, taking kids all over New York State, you know, to boxing matches. A lot of kids don't have gloves and equipment and stuff, you know. And, you know, I made sure they had. So that, you know, was just like, wow, this is real, you know, it's true. You know, this guy's true to his word, you know.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's just been amazing. You know, just watching him deliver was so important, you know, because it ain't about me. Like, I'm going to make it happen anyway.
Right.
You know, that somebody stepped in, and not just because that, you know, they thought it was, you know, that I needed help. It was the right thing to do. You know, if you're about youth, be about youth. You know, and he's definitely about youth.
Absolutely. It's called the Youth Center for a reason. You know, let's get our youth involved, and you couldn't have a better guy leading the boxing charge than you. But tell me, what's your vision? I mean, you see what's going on now. You got some cash to work with. What do you hope to make out of this? What do you hope to see this all unfold before our eyes?
But, you know, like, my biggest thing is education. You know, my thing is if we can tie this to, like, because Albany, first of all, Albany County, Albany boxing program is the only one at one point was the only one in the state of New York, only one in the country that was supported and funded by Department of Justice, Albany's DA's department in Albany County. And as a result, they've had over 20 national champions. You know, kids from babies, you know, 12, 13-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, to get a chance to travel out to Vegas and, you know, just to, you know, feel good about themselves, because it's all self-confidence. And my thing is, like, tying it to education, where Albany County program too now is that the charter schools take the kids there for recreation during the day, you know, and that's so important, you know, to tie this with education, you know, social. We're talking about self-esteem, self-confidence, discipline, structure, you know, self-respect. You know, I want to tie it to education, you know, someday partner with school districts, which, you know, I've got a partnership with, but that's the little older kids, My Brother's Keeper program.
Right.
But to start them younger, because, you know, we want to be able to curb those anger and attitudes early on, where, you know, so kids will learn to be self-disciplined, and, you know, not always, you know, like young boys want to be rough and tumble, but to learn to control that anger and aggression at an early age.
Absolutely. Now, this isn't just for competitive boxing either, right? I mean, if a kid just wants to, you know, maybe wants to lose a few pounds, or their parents want them to be able to defend themselves should the need arise, and in this day and age that could certainly be a situation. It's for kids like that too, that maybe don't want to go into boxing competitively and you know, take part in competitions, but maybe just to get in shape. It's for those kids as well, right?
Well, the youth center thing is all instructional. It's not competitive. It's not hands-on.
Right.
There's no contact. It's all instructional. Only contact they'll be having is beating up me. So,
but that's
pretty much it.
Well, you can take it. You're a Golden Gloves champ yourself. Come on now.
You know, if they want to take it a step farther and go that way, then they're going to branch off, go over to you, whether it's at the Moose Lodge or Youth Center or something.
Yes, that's the plan. If if they want to carry on or move forward in it, you know, they're more than welcome to come out to the gym, and, you know, with parental permission and stuff like that. You know, of course, that's a goal. That's a plan. You know, if, you know, kids are good and this is what they want to do, more than welcome.
You've had quite a few guys over the years, and at this point you've been doing it 13 years, so you get to see the guys progress, and outside of boxing too. They have quite a few success stories. Ryan Rosenbacher became a police officer. Lopez went into the service after high school. So you've seen these guys progress, whether it's professionally, like Dave Tommaso and Mike Black, but also in their personal lives. I think, does boxing keep these guys on the right track to be able to go into those?
I think that was so important, you know, that you mentioned that, because, that's what it's about. You know, like the guys who became fathers, they got the kids in their life.
Right.
You know, all of them work. They got jobs. Once they get to a certain age, you know, they got to provide for their families and be responsible. They got jobs. You know, I get the calls 1, 2 in the morning. Hey, what do I do about this? Things like that. You know, from parents, even concerned parents. You know, for the 15 and 16-year-olds. You know, they call me, make sure their kids were at the gym. They say, hey, such and such said they were at the gym today. Were they there? You know, and I'm like, yeah. Or if they weren't, I'm like, no, they weren't. You know, so you know, I tell them all. I tell the kids, you know, like I communicate with your parents. You know, so. You know, everybody knows me, so if don't try to use me to lie, say you've been in the gym, because I'm not going to cover for you.
And tell us about some of your current crops. I know, you got kids like Kristen Race, you've got Zilla Kelly, Jameer Jones. I mean, just a great crop of young up-and-comers. You want to talk about them a little bit, what they're doing right now, and maybe their future plans?
They're like skill level. At this early age in their career, they're a lot better than the Michael Blacks, the Dave Tomasos, the Ryan Meisenbacher, Luis Lopez. These guys are a student of the games. They watch. I think now too is more of the stuff's on social media, so they're doing a more
they're putting it out
viewing.
there.
They're watching stuff and they're seeing things of professional fighters and they're following the sport. I just think that their courage and confidence isn't there yet. Their talent level is awesome. I mean, when we go around the different gyms in Albany, Catskill, anywhere in the Capital District, these guys just dominate. But then when they get in fights, it's like
it's a different world.
It's a different world. I think with the lights on, it's they should be doing better than they're doing. I mean, they got good, respectable records, but the talent level is not equating to. It's not carrying over into the ring when the lights are on.
Most important thing, though, they do have the talent, though, actually, to take it a little further. That it's not just, they're going to go in there and be an opponent for somebody else, for some other up-and-comer. They're certainly competitive in their own right.
Yeah, my thing is just, I just got to keep it green with them and let them know that I don't expect nothing from you. Like, although you guys dominate in practices and sparring and stuff like that, I don't expect anything from you at this early age in your career. You only been in the gym a year and a half.
Right.
Where the Blacks and the Meisenbachers, Tomasos, those guys been in the gym 8, 9, 10 years. So.
Right.
Their skill level is there. They should easily dominate in our region, Adirondack region. But we've been fighting a lot in the metro region, down New York City area. So where the competition is tougher, and these guys have been dominating. They've been doing real well. I'm very proud of them. But sometimes I got to remember that. The expectations got to stay where their skill level is at right now.
Absolutely. Let's talk about our guy from Louisiana who's fighting out of the Catskill Customano KO Gym, our good man, Alvin Vermal Jr. What do you think of his career so far, how it's going? I mean, you can't argue with 15-0, and a lot of knockouts to go with that. But going forward, what do you see for him?
Well, he'll definitely become a champion. I mean, he's dedicated. He's passionate. Very humble. That's what I love about the kid. Love about him. And when we spar against him, he knows that he's much more superior than our guys.
Sure.
Being amateurs with a few fights, and this guy's a professional.
Yeah, he's a pro.
I mean, he makes them work. He makes those guys work. But he understands. He understands to spar with them at their skill level. He doesn't try to just blow them away. Just beat them up. But he makes them work, and he lets them know that this is a business. When you get in there, it's all about business. But I definitely see him becoming a champion of the world. They're bringing him along at the right pace. He's staying busy, staying hungry. I mean, you watch this guy train. People don't see this guy train. He's just be 190. He's down to 175. That's commitment. That's dedication.
No question about it. You've been doing this a long time, Todd. What keeps you going? What drives you to continue doing what you do without any fanfare? You're not looking for any fanfare. I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but I got to put you on spot. What keeps you going?
Like I say, people don't see what I see. When I'm in the gym, just the camaraderie, we call it a fraternity, a fraternity, sorority, we make, because boys and girls, they're there. Just watching them grow, develop, just feel good about themselves, walk in with their head down when they first come, shy, innocent, and then they bloom into butterflies. Caterpillars turn into butterflies. They got their heads up. The schoolwork is improving. The families, the parents are calling me saying, "Hey, I don't know what you did to this kid, but they're doing X, Y, and Z at home. They're doing X, Y, and Z in school. They're just a whole different person." That drives me.
There you go. Well said, sir. Let's talk a little professional boxing right about now. I mean, our guy, TBE, Floyd Mayweather. What's going on with him? I mean, he's retired. He's not retired. He's not going to box anymore. But now he's talking about maybe doing a little MMA action. What's going on?
He's a master of marketing. He's a master of marketing. He's a businessman. First and foremost, he's a businessman. If he sees that it sells, it's going to make him a lot of money. He's involved.
Right.
And he's the best that ever did it. On the outside of boxing, he's even better inside the ring, but outside he's a lot better. I mean, he's a marketing genius.
Do you think he's really going to try to dip his toe in the water when it comes to this MMA stuff, or is he just kind of just trying to
Well,
drum up some interest.
he's definitely drumming up the interest. But like I said, if the price is right, he's going to do it. But they're going to change the rules to make it more of a boxing match.
Right.
No
But
kids.
Except in the
takedowns.
octagon.
Right.
Which,
Yeah. So but it sells tickets. You're talking
Right.
about $1 billion fight. If he does it.
I like his stable too. He's got some good young fighters coming up. We know about Tank Davis, but what about Devin Haney? One of my all-time favorite young stars coming up on the horizon. He's going to be a good one.
He's definitely going to be a good one. I just think that I just hope they bring him up the right pace. Don't throw him out there fast. Like you could see what happened to Erickson Lubin.
Yeah.
They threw him out there too fast.
I was surprised at that.
And and that pretty much made him disappear right now. So. But they're a lot better because you see what they're doing with Tank Davis. They're not throwing him out there to the wolves yet. They're picking the right fights for him and everything. They'll do the same thing with Devin Haney.
Now we had a big fight coming up May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. We had the rematch, Triple G and Canelo. Canelo obviously can't be fighting right now, and it seems like that fight is just there's no fight for May 5th. I mean, what's going on there? I mean, it's sad to see that happening because that gives maybe the boxing fans that are kind of on the outskirts, not the hardcore boxing fans, gives it kind of a black eye image that, oh, here we go again with this craziness. I mean, what can be done about something like this?
Things like that happen, whether a fake injury or a failed urine test or something like that. I think that, boxing now, because of the money that's involved, they're paying better attention to the drugging, the doping, and all that other stuff. I mean, this stuff has been going on forever, But now with the money, the purses being astronomical, that they're paying attention there because people are concerned and worried. The opponents,
Right on.
and it's right. I like to see a clean sport.
You could make one fight right now. You're the matchmaker. You could make one fight in any division. Name your price. Who would that fight pit against each other?
I would like to see the Garcia against Lomachenko. Mikey Garcia and Lomachenko, yes.
How about 147? Again, I don't know about that division. I kind of always gravitate towards that division, but okay. My man, one-time Thurman's on the shelf right now for just a little bit. He'll be back. Don't worry about that. But Spence, Bud Crawford, how would you see that fight going down if it should happen? And I'm sure it will.
That fight is going to be good. But I think people. I mean, Spence is a tremendous athlete. But I've never seen him get hit yet. So that's what we got to do. I mean, people think that he got hit in Kell Brook. Kell Brook was tired, worn down, and he hit him with some shots, but it wasn't no power shots. They was just tired shots. When if you're tired, both tired, you're going to see the head snap back or whatever. So it seems like it's not a big shot. I think Bud has dynamite in both hands, and I'm thinking if Bud catches him, it could change the outcome of that fight.
I'm telling you, I definitely agree with that, but. If I'm a betting man, and I've been known on occasion, not really, I'm taking Spence in that one. Other than my man one time, I don't see anybody. Spence, to me, might be the best pound for pound, other than one time. How about that?
I like it. I do like Thurman. Thurman is a good fighter. I like Keith Thurman. I like Keith Thurman. He's humble.
Yeah.
I just want to see him being more active.
Yeah,
at least,
no doubt.
If nothing else, take on one of those two guys. Okay. If nothing else, take on Bud or Spence. He has to take one of those.
It has to happen.
It has to happen,
and it will.
And he is his lateral movement and his get away is real good. His defense is good. People fail to realize that his defense is good. Just like the last fight with Canelo and Triple G, people just because Canelo was moving, people thought he was running and everything. No, he fought a perfect fight.
Right.
The same way TBE fights. He makes you miss, and then counters and scores. But people think because with Canelo, that just the fact that he was a brawler and that he didn't brawl, so they automatically lost it because the optics of the fight. But he did an excellent job of slipping punches.
Now, to bring it back to the local scene and what you have going on right now, if somebody wants their kid, or if there's a child that's just interested in boxing, when are you going to be over there? What's the schedule like for you guys? How do they go about getting involved?
Well, last week I took the whole week off. That was the first time in a long time I took the week off. Because we just fought down in Newburgh, USA versus Ireland, and Zilla Keller fought. He fought, and he was winning the fight first round. He just quit. And that just tore at me, I mean, I understand the teenagers are kids, but that was second time, two bouts he'd been winning both of them. The first bout down in Newport, and it was only 30 seconds left in the fight, and he just took his mouthpiece out, took his headgear off. And he did that again in the first round down in Newburgh, against Ireland, and it just like tore at my core, like what the hell, like what's wrong, what am I not doing, I mean, I know it has nothing to do with me. That's something, some his own demons that he's got to overcome,
Sure.
Just as a trainer, it's just like wow, because it's embarrassing, it's humiliating, because all the trainers are there, build a rapport. We got our own little fraternity. We've all been around each other, and they've always seen my fighters from Hudson, tough, fight.
Yeah,
never give up.
Never give up, die in the ring type of fighters.
And Zilla's a tough kid.
And Zilla's a real tough kid. He does that. He does that everywhere. We go to spar. He'll get mad and just walk out the ring, then come back in. It's just, I don't understand it. It just, I don't know. It's just troubling, but I think this week I'm back in the gym. This week, it's my hours have changed now because at my job, Berkshire, they changed me after 10 years. I'm now 1 to 9 instead of on Wednesdays instead of 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So now me and Ed Burris, we're trying to work on a schedule where it can become a program with Berkshire Farms, because they love us taking the kids to the gyms, local gyms, and stuff like that. So we're in plan now, so we can do that Wednesday. So I'll be in the gym Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, usually from 4 to 6, 4 to 7, and Saturday I'm in the gym all day.
Okay. And again, this is for male or female. You're not. Doesn't matter what you are. Doesn't matter if you've ever picked up a glove before or watched boxing. Doesn't matter if you want to get out there, be active a little bit, learn something. It's for anybody. Of
course. I mean, like I said, in 13 years, I've had over 600 people coming out of the gym to train, and only like 60 of them actually competed. So that just shows you. A lot of them come in there just to hang out. Yep. A lot of them come in there, lose weight, train, self-esteem, confidence, and just to be around each other. It's like I said, it's a facility. Everybody. Even outside of the gym, once you're a part of the gym, they look at the older ones, look out for the younger ones in the community. They see them doing something wrong, they'll confront them and say something to them. Hey, get out of that area, get out of the neighborhood. Stop doing this, go home. Things like that. Did your homework? How's school going? It's communication.
Right. And we've both been in the gym. It's not something where there's just a bunch of people, they're beating on each other or anything like that. It's well run. You're always looking out for everybody there. So any parent that's hesitant because it's boxing. Yep. Shouldn't be. It's extremely well maintained, well run. Couldn't have a better guy doing it. And
we're all licensed too from USA Boxing Organization, which is worldwide, and also I'm licensed through New York State Athletic Department, New York State Athletic Commission through State Department of State.
Sure.
So we have to have it done every year. We have to go to clinics. We have to get recertifications every year. So it's just not run of the mill thing.
Right. Perfect. Excellent. Well, we look forward to. Seeing the guys, hopefully Zilla can turn it around a little bit, and the other guys, Christian Race and the crew over there, can get going. And we look forward to the future with you over at the youth center.
And much respect to you, Todd. So thankful you're here and working with the youth. It's amazing what you do.
It's passion, that. I tell people all the time, I ain't going to do nothing else. What else do I know?
There you go.
That's all I know.
Lucky for all of us.
40 plus years, I won't change it.
There you go.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on the Press Box. We'll see you next week. And this was presented by Columbia Green Federal Credit Union.